welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Thanks for clicking on my video. I appreciate your time and attention. Today, I wanted to take a quick look at this white Plastisol textile screen printing ink that I am offering for sale on my new e-commerce site. Many of you know that I have a brand new e-commerce site for Catspit Productions, and it is catspitscreenprintsupply.com. And I am offering some equipment and supplies there, and all the proceeds go, of course, to help support the continued production of free educational videos right here on YouTube. You don't have to make a purchase for the videos to stay free and keep coming, but when you do, it helps me keep making these videos indefinitely. So let's take a look at this white Plastisol ink that is Catspit tested and approved. Here's a close-up of the Plastisol white textile screen printing ink that I'm offering on catspitscreenprintsupply.com. I'm offering this in 1 quart containers and also gallon containers. And I'm not going to mention the brand name of this Plastisol ink on this video because this is not intended to be a commercial for the brand. It's intended to be a commercial for Catspit. Hey! Well, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, let's take a look at this ink. I'm going to say it's very creamy. Right now, this ink is, I don't know, it's probably room temperature. It's probably about 81 degrees. So it's pretty creamy at about 81 degrees. So as this warms up, it's going to get a little bit thinner and a little bit more creamy. And as you work it on the press, it's going to get a little bit thinner and a little bit more creamy. But you can see right out of the bucket, if I'm not blocking the shot there, that it's a nice creamy white ink. Okay, nice creamy white ink. This shouldn't be difficult to work with at all, and in my experience with white inks, I think it's actually on the thinner, creamier side. You know, a lot of really high quality, high opacity inks that I've used in the past are a little bit thicker than this. So this is a little bit thinner, a little bit creamier, but it performs very well, and it's very, very, very inexpensive, and that's why it's Catspit tested and approved. Okay, so let's take a look at how it test prints and see what it looks like. Okay, so we'll load the screen up with some ink. All right, and you always want to use a sufficient amount so that it can work properly. Okay, so we're going to do a test print. This is a 110 mesh, and that squeegee is probably, I forget, it's probably a 60 or 65 durometer. Okay, and we have the off contact set. Now, that's very important with printing any high opacity ink, is make sure you're using the proper mesh count, the proper off contact, the proper squeegee, and make sure that everything is in good condition and your palette is flat and smooth. So we're going to put down a little bit of flash mist, just because in case you were going to flash hit flash. But today we're going to try to basically do, you know, a one-hit wonder type sort of thing. All right, you always want to use some flash. It's going to make the shirt stick to the palette and make the print overall better. Sorry, this is a rag, and it's been washed actually. And you know, I was wearing gloves, so I got these white prints all over. But we'll take some lint off. It's always convenient to have a linter, but you shouldn't need it too much, hopefully. Alright, so what I mean by a one-hit wonder rather than a hit-flash-hit, when you have everything set up properly, your off contact, your mesh count, your mesh is tight, nice and tight. I have a little cut over here, but don't worry, it's tight enough, okay? And, you know, off contact, mesh, squeegee durometer, lower is better if you can. 70 durometer will work, but 60, 65 is good if you can. And let's see how it works. This is our first test print. So we're going to flood this out a little bit. You lift the screen when you're flooding so that it provides for a crisper print, because there's less motion between the ink and the shirt and such. The less you work the ink, the more crisp print will be. So my first print stroke is basically getting some of this ink into the knit. All right, and I have a little there was some red on the screen. I don't know what was in it or what I used last, but I can see there's a little red getting in there, but don't worry about that. Okay, so let's take a look and just see where I'm at. Not bad, actually. It's not bad at all. I don't even know if I would hit that again or not, you know, honestly. It looks pretty fine. So, I don't know, let's take a close-up look. Alright, so there it is. Obviously, yeah, I had a little bit of red ink left on my screen. It didn't affect anything badly or anything, but it's just noteworthy. I'll say that, you know, make sure your screen is cleaned very well before you put white ink on, because that can happen, you know. I don't remember what I used this for last, but I didn't check it. I thought it was okay, and it's probably fine, but as I work it more, I don't know how much more red would come out, and that could be in the mesh and on the emulsion itself, so it would have to be cleaned thoroughly and re-inked and stuff. So, but for the purposes of this demonstrational video, this is fine, and you can see hopefully the white, I know the white reflects a lot off of the video camera, you know, in the shop, and you know, I don't know how true of a shot you see here, the exposure and everything is all, you know, because of the black and white and stuff, but you know, for the money, I can tell you this ink works very well. It's very inexpensive. It covers very well. It has great opacity. It's good for an underbase. It's good for a highlight white. It's good for a white white. You can do a one-hit putty job like we just did here, which is what you're looking at, or you could do a hit flash hit and it'll be crisper. Okay, so it'll have an even sharper look when you do the hit flash hit, of course, right? All right, so that's it. This is available at catspitscreenprintsupply.com, and you can get there if you go to the main website at catspitproductionsllc.com and click any of the equipment or supplies links that go out to the catspitscreenprintsupply.com website. That's it for today, and I think you can see that the Catspit Tested and Approved Plastisol screen printing textile ink is pretty good stuff. Check it out on catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Check out the pricing. For the money, it's a really, really good white ink. You can see that even with a little bit of red on my screen, the white was fine. It wasn't even really barely affected. And that's going to lead me to my next video. Guess what video I'm going to make next, like right now for you, is going to be tips on changing ink colors on press, moving from one ink to the other. How about that? I'm going to do that next, okay? So that's it. If you have any questions about this ink, feel free to message me or comment below. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for you to go directly to this ink on my e-commerce site. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you very much. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like what you see, rate thumbs up, comment below, and please subscribe. We'll see you next time.